Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another installment of Nude News. I'm Andrew Furman. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be joined by my fantastic co host, Mark Ramson, today because of the current situation we're in. When Mark and I created Nude News last year, we set out on a mission to give you, our viewers, nothing but the bare facts on political issues. I mean, sure, our sculpted bodies are good for a few laughs, but that was never the goal of the show. We wanted to give you undressed news so you could feel confident and comfortable discussing politics with just about anyone. Even though our second season seemed to have been slightly derailed, I hope we were still able to accomplish that. This episode is going to be pretty undressed, even for our standards. As you can probably tell, I'm not coming to you from our wonderful ECTV 40 studio. Not being able to film this episode from behind the news desk has been one of the hardest parts of adjusting to quarantine life for me. It's not because the lighting is a lot better, although it is. It's not because the teleprompter makes things a lot easier, which it does. It's because I can't look up and see the wonderful faces of the fantastic people on our team. Whenever I'm discouraged or frustrated between takes, I had the luxury of looking over to Jess or Rachel to straighten me out. Mark was able to slap me across the face and tell me to get it right next time. I was able to be surrounded by the people I love, doing what I love, talking politics partially undressed. That's why this episode was no fun for me to film. It just reminded me of all the people I was missing. I know this sentiment has been echoed across most of the country. COVID 19 is not only endangering the health and well being of millions across the globe, but it's also isolating us from our loved ones. As upsetting as it is, we need to remember what we're quarantining for. Sure, it's great for growing prepubescent mustaches, or seeing how long your hair gets before you have to buzz it all off. But at the end of the day, we are quarantining to protect those around us and to return to life as we know it. So today on New News, we want to discuss something that COVID 19 has pushed to the back burner: the current US Census. The census is a constitutionally mandated population count occurring every 10 years. A population count might seem like one of the last things we need right now, but the coronavirus is demonstrating just how important it is to have an accurate census. Results of the census lead to congressional redistricting and help distribute close to $1.5 trillion in government funding. This money partially goes into health related programs such as Medicaid, Medicare, and CHIP, the Children's Health Insurance Program. Additionally, data from the census helps distribute money in a plethora of other social programs. Data from the census is also used by businesses and housing developers to evaluate where to create job opportunities and living areas. Now, as we live through a pandemic, we can see firsthand the importance of population estimation. COVID 19 has forced census workers to rely on other methods to count community members. Social media, advertisements, and phone banks have been used to encourage Americans to mail in their census results or reply online. Currently, only 13 states are allowed to conduct field operations, meaning they are the only ones permitted to hand deliver census forms to households. These deliveries will be contact free to ensure that field workers do not spread the coronavirus. These 13 states have a leg up on many states with densely populated urban communities. In the past, African American and Hispanic urban populations have had low response rates. Door knocking was employed by the census to accurately count these demographics. With COVID 19 stopping canvassing in urban areas, there's a high risk that these Americans do not get accurately counted. If African American and Hispanic American communities have low response rates, we could see a plethora of unsavory outcomes, including, but not limited to, lesser representation in government and a decrease in funds towards community schools. To combat the potential of an inaccurate census, President Trump has called on Congress to extend the response time window until April 30th. This will give areas like New York, who are ravaged by COVID 19, time to regroup and roll out an effective urban canvassing strategy. COVID 19 has, in just a few months, changed the way we carry out our lives. Causing an inaccurate census is just one of the many long term ramifications this country faces during the coronavirus. Here at New News, we're committed to continuing to discuss how our world is changing due to this invisible enemy. So tonight, I'd like to give you all some homework. First, please make sure you and your loved ones have completed the census. If I haven't convinced you, just search 2020census.gov for all the other reasons to complete it. And I mean, while you're on the site, you might as well fill it out. Second, And this is the important one. Make sure and let all your people know just how much you love them. I'll practice what I preach and once again tell my team at Nude News that I miss them and I wish I could be filming in the same room as them. I love you all. And to our wonderful viewers, I love you all too. Stay safe, everyone. This is Andrew Furman reporting from Wilmington, Delaware, reminding you all that size only matters when it comes to the number of census reports and maybe crowd sizes. See you all very soon.